Hello, my friends. I know we just met a few days ago, but my name is Leo Binkowski. And while it seems like only a few days for you, it's been 38 years for me. I've lived a whole lifetime. But let me show you what's behind me, which is something you might be interested in. Some NABU computers from the era when I was developing for them. I'm going to flip this camera around so that we can take a look at them up close. Alrighty. Okay. The top machine says Host on it because that was my development machine. It was my development machine. I had an NABU 1100 at first. This was my development machine pretty much since then, and it came with me when I left. Well, for nostalgic purposes. The one underneath it is possibly a target machine, but I think it was used as a terminal machine for accessing services, and I'll show you why in a second. I have here at least 2 keyboards, one of which is missing the 0 key because it's broken. And then because of these PCs, if you can see, they look a little dusty and stuff. They've been literally sitting in a corner of my basement since, well, pretty much since I've moved here in 1989. So that they haven't moved, and that's what they are. So there's some cables and stuff going on in there. As you can see, I'm probably not going to turn this guy on tonight because it looks like they need some serious cleaning. I'd probably catch fire or something if I try to turn it on. So let's just go around see some neat things. Ooh, get this cable out of the way. This is a cable. This is a sticker that would show up on consumer PCs. And that's the number there for general information called 523-6228. And if you look and you translate on your phone, 6228 is 523 NABU. Kind of cool. And for equipment service, there was 2 Cablevision services in Ottawa. Skyline, who dealt with east of Bank, and Auto Cablevision, which dealt with west of Bank. Now they're all Rogers, but they were different cable organizations, which meant we had a head end in each office, each cable office. Yikes, look at some of this corrosion and I don't know what the hell, mold going on there. But there's some special things about this NABU. The top one has a really big connector, DB40 connector, and that's for the mass storage unit, which had a 10 megabit MFM hard drive and a 1.2 megabit 5¼ inch floppy. The other 3 are serial ports. I had one for my terminal, another one for using a modem, and another one for usually for connecting with a crossover cable to a NABU 1100 to pull data off 8-inch floppies. On the one underneath, as you can see, the fabled floppy disk controller, 2 serial ports. So I'm going to be pulling that out because some of the guys, everybody actually, DJ, Adrian, Dave, and so on, all want to get at least high-resolution pictures of this and possibly their hands on it. So we'll see how we're going to work that. This bottom one I'm kind of worried about. It was on the bottom, but it has open ports, or open hatches anyway. My wife caught a mouse and released it, so this was probably in here, so I'm kind of worried it might have mouse poo or something in it. Once again, that one's going to go outside into the shed until I can blast it with air while I'm wearing the P90 mask, or the P100 mask. So look at this cable. I'm going to have to do some work on that because the cables in the NABU are basically directly connected. You don't have a little thing pulling them out. All right, so I'm not as good as DJ, so I'm going to see if I can pull this stuff off. And do I want to open this one? No, actually, I want to open up the one underneath first. So I'm going to take this one off and let it go. Stand up on the floor. Yes, stand up on the floor. I'm crazy. Okay. So then we have this guy, which has the floppy drive unit. So what I'm going to do here is try to aim this. I have this, those ring lights. I'm not using the ring light, but I'm using the stand. Maybe we can have it point at it while I deal with it. Still going? Oh, goody. Okay. Screwdriver. So this is, I haven't opened this computer clearly in, well, pretty much forever. So, whoa. Of course, I gotta lose the screws right away. So let me just get a container. Little glass container so I don't lose my screws. Oh, there was only one screw in that one. Oh, that one had none. It's this one. You see what's going on there? Good. Let me zoom around to the side. Get rid of the screw. And the other screw. These don't look like the original screws because they're silver. The original ones were brown. Ooh. Eureka. Okay. Fortunately, it was relatively well sealed. So there's actually not a lot of dust inside. And that's good. Let's just see what we got here. So I'm going to start pointing things out. And I want to make sure we can see from the video. Maybe I might want to move this up a bit. So you can actually read here. It says RS-232 option card. Right? What does it say? 9000-01810. Those are NABU part numbers. Anything that starts with 9000 is NPC related. So if you see 9000 part numbers, that's NABU PCs. But what we want to do is get at this guy here. Oh, I need Phillips head for that. Okay. They look like the same screws, so. But these ones are a little bit. What is that weird color when you bake a computer? It kind of gets a kind of gold tint, kind of weird, colorful tint to it. These computers were baked for 2 days. I think at 150 Fahrenheit. I don't know what, but they were on during the entire time, and that's to make sure that anything that's going to fail does fail. So now take a look how this weird crap works. So all of the cards are connected. They're kind of in a big daisy chain. So this is a bus. I don't know the details of the bus. I'm pretty certain it's in the technical details that people have already downloaded. So I can't even talk about that. But I really the weird arrangement of the ribbon cables is what blows my mind. So this floppy card is right in between these other cards, and it's being held up by this weird post here. So I'm going to pull it. And here's the other thing. Power as well is kind of daisy chained, as you can see. But weirdly enough, it originates from the farthest card and works its way to the power supply. That RF box looks very rusty, but may be just dusty. And so let me try to get this out. And disconnected. So now, no, customers were not expected to do this kind of installation. This was done usually by, what would happen is that if they had like a regular NABU unit and they wanted to rent a floppy, for instance, they just swapped their whole computer and they were given they were given a new computer with the floppy interface on it. Now there's something stuck there, and I don't know what exactly. And it might be just these Centronics pin things. Oh, there's another one of those weird posts, and it's right there, which is why I remember there was something odd about these things. As I said, I need pliers, and I don't remember why. Well, this is why. I'm going to squeeze these posts. Oh, these pliers are yucky. Come on out. Ah, yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, here we go. So, Adrian, DJ, this is what we have. I'm going to wipe this off just a little bit because, well, there's some dust stuck on it. And it's more than your average just laying on it. I just need a paper towel. All right. I'm going to try to pop this in front and not upside down. So there's, as you can see, Hopefully you can focus on it correctly. NPC FD controller, serial number 5629, which the connector's on it. It has all the chips, and I'm going to see if I can read some of them, but my old ass eyes are keeping me from doing that. So just a sec. That's a WDC FD 1797 PL02. Now, me not being a hardware guy, I don't know what to tell you about this. So I'm going to flip it over. There's nothing. They weren't stupid enough to put stuff on the other side, but just to get the pinouts and the layout. I think it's only two-sided in terms of late traces. So there's not like 6 trace lines or something like that. And that is mostly what I wanted to do here, because that was what those guys wanted to see. So you can start working on a floppy drive controller that could interface to something like an SD card or who knows what. So let me know if you want any info about this, and I can also take high-res pictures about it and mail them to you guys. All right. Enough of that. And yes, I'm going to put this all back together. But I really wanted to show you something else, which is far more important to this project. This is basically my personal backups. So what we normally used to do, even as developers, and any of the NABU developers will tell you this, we would basically have boxes of these Dysan discs, as Dysan was what we mostly used, although you can see there's other ones in there. And basically we have, and I'm trying to find the one that I specifically, yes. So when we would submit our games, they would end up going to a software library, and they would go on floppy disks and that kind of stuff. They were meticulously checked for any of our personal stuff that we left on it, and any garbage that we left on it, and any files that weren't used and stuff like that. But our working copies typically had things like contact lists and lists of phone numbers of people we wanted to call and that kind of stuff buried in them. So that's what they are, and these are the things that we would end up essentially like taking home. And people are going to say, they let you take them home. We were writing the games. If they didn't trust us to write the games, to take them home, to use on the systems that we had at home, it wouldn't have been a problem. But anyway, we could take them home. And so some of these are like, see, this is Manager Baseball. I worked on player substitution in Manager Baseball and batting order and all that other, anything to do with players. So this is my disc of it, but this is not the full Manager Baseball source. It's just one component of it. This is one component of a thing called animatics. I happen to do the sound for it. So this is a full game because I did the entire game. This is Casino Bingo. And you can see the date, February 6, 85. Actually, a few months before I left NABU. I left in May. This is the last thing I did for NABU, which is NABU Filer. As you can see, May 14th, 85. I left at the end of May. Another NABU Filer. The source to basic. Super CPM I'll get to a later date. But this is my personal copy of NABU CPM. Everybody asked me what operating system we used for development. It was CPM. And this is my personal serial number because I went through the box and I went and found 42, the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. This was the Informer, which I think DJ showed. And Miner 2049er, Joaquin Fernandez's source disk, because we both worked on it, and this is my source disk. So basically between that, I have the entire source to Miner 2049er. This is interesting. We used to have seasonal apps, so we literally put out Christmassy apps. And one of the things we did is we took Music Maker and we stuffed a whole pile of Christmas carols in it, and we made it so that you could basically let them play forever. So you got 8-bit Christmas music. It was kind of cute and a lot of fun. This was a contract thing. It was stupid. This is a game I worked on actually after I left NABU called Tour of the Universe. That shows you this is my personal box of diskettes. But moreover, I'm dealing with all of these, and you can see me manhandling and shuffling them. I actually have some, when I gave DJ the cycle, I said, here's an entire cycle for you. In fact, I had no idea whether it was an entire cycle because I had no way of testing it. And as it turns out, I gave him probably an 80% cycle. So I need to get all of those off, plus I need to get all the source code off, because I intend to let people look at this source code in order to basically, so that if they want to make their own games, or they just have a Rosetta Stone for how NABU is working, you can use it, right? You can use it to basically make your own game if you want. If you want to make a new Pac-Man with, like, I don't know, beavers or something chasing something else, moose around or something, then you can do that. I don't know if this is actually the source to logo or it's just logo programs, but I have a lot of stuff here. The problem is as you can see, I have literally, well, I counted, and there is about 160 floppies. There are two types of floppies that I have, one of which is single-sided double density, which is typically 48 track. And I also have these guys, which are 96 track per inch, but soft sectored, two-sided double densities of both sides. And these goes in the mass storage unit floppy drives, not in the consumer floppy drives that the other system has. All right. So that's that. So this is the big job part that I have to do, that I'm dreading to do, because I have to transfer files that are on CPM floppies to the PC in order to get at the source code, in order to make it available for everybody on GitHub or something like that. I can't snap my fingers and put it on GitHub or archive.org, and it kind of irks me. But that's the job. And I just wanted to show you what's there right now. As time goes on, I'll end up showing a little bit more. Oh, I want something to go back in here. This guy here specifically, since it has most of the best of the source. Don't ask me to mail this stuff to you, because it's not leaving here anymore. I've already been there, done that. So what next? Oh! Ta-da! Way in the back there. Let me get this guy out of the way. We have a NABU floppy. It looks like spider eggs around it. Let's see what we got. I don't know if this is a dual or single. I just don't remember. I think it's a single, because I never needed the dual. I had mass storage unit floppies for that. It is a single. So as you can see, this is the NABU floppy drive. Oh, there's a floppy in it. I wonder what's on it. Anyway, there's a cable, kind of a weird Centronics printer-like connector, but a little bit tinier. And very well shielded. It's super thick. Really nice. This one is actually, you can see, it's hardly used. Serial number 5446. Single drive. And that's the NABU floppy. So this is the thing that you guys might want to look at. I don't know if you want me to take this apart so that we can see what actual drive this is. I don't know offhand. So somebody put the cables in here. So I'm going to put this back, and we're going to make sure that somebody gets a chance to analyze this guy, because I don't know how. Okay. So what do we got left? That's about it for today. I just wanted to show that to everybody, because I wanted to let you know what's sort of coming in terms of analysis and that kind of stuff, and also what the stuff looks like, so that people can ask questions. If you have any comments, or you have any specific questions that you think I can answer, then put them in the comments. Also tell me if you still want to see this, because this is actually my very first YouTube video that I produced myself. The other one, of course, was produced by CJH 40 years ago, practically 38 years ago. So my next job is to basically take out the cab serve unit, and when I do that, I should be able to extract some of the stuff from the floppies, or at least demonstrate how the cab serve unit worked. I don't know if it works, so I'm going to work on getting that fixed. I got to get these guys cleaned up, and we'll see if that happens. In the meantime, thanks a lot for watching. It was a lot of fun. See you later.